This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks NYC. I am sheltering in place across the border. Roland and Taylor, 20 billion neurons. We are going to talk about artificial intelligence. We're going to talk about the Halo sector turning into a first mover instead of a last mover in technology, and that is going to start today. So, Roland, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So why don't you talk about, from a scientific background, where you see the opportunity and, why you're putting this technology into our sector. And then we'll talk about Taylor on the biz dev side. And we'll hopefully give people a crash course in AI so they can talk about it in the club without being shy about, us using some new acronyms that they don't want to talk about.
Sounds good. Just a quick question. Is this visual and I can share my screen?
Well, it's audio, so if you want to share your screen, it'll only be for the four of us. So
it's going to be pretty much hopeless.
Dave, why don't we, you want to do the first video one?
We could do it. Yeah. I mean, there's one or two up on YouTube already, so we could put this on YouTube. Sure.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Why don't we do a special one? So, yeah. Well,
I dressed up and all.
Because I showered today.
That's right.
All right. So let's do this. Let's not edit this at all. Let me do my redo so people can hear. We are doing our first Halo Talks video live that will be on replay. And Roland is going to share his screen from Toronto, and I am on a high-speed network, so hopefully this works well. And for all of our viewers out there, which I'm sure will crack at least a couple hundred on this, David Gannell is prepared for this audio podcast with new haircut.
Thank you.
Now turned into a video one.
Lucky me.
All right.
Cool.
All right, so a little bit of background. I have been in AI, artificial intelligence, for pretty much all of my career, for some 20 plus years. And I've been dabbling in various industry jobs. Before I joined and co-founded this company, I was an assistant professor at University of Montreal. And artificial intelligence, the reason I was working on it was because it meant always this for me. It meant giving everybody a C3PO or R2D2 or other kind of companion that's around, that understands you, that can provide value by just being a companion that's there for you and can help you that way. Sees you, sees when you're approaching it, sees that you're smiling at it or walking away from it, etc. That's not really what the vast majority of industry insiders typically think of when they say artificial intelligence.
Well, resonates with me. I'm like a huge Star Wars fan. So if you want to just keep that photo up the whole time and we can riff from there, that's totally cool with me.
That sounds good. So what the vast majority thinks is more like this. It's like pick and place, manufacturing, superhuman, super efficient capabilities that optimize processes in the industry and so on.
Is that red bean pie or what is that?
I think it's croissants or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure. It's either though, right? So this is what the focus has been for so long. And it's not really what I felt like I want to do with my life and why I'm here in this area, why I'm doing this deep tech kind of stuff. And so we've always been dreaming about building your companions, get everybody a C3PO and get them to provide value at your home and being a companion to you. At some point during my career, I realized there is a way to do this, a very specific way. It's around sourcing data and training networks in a certain way and so on. And I said, okay, screw it. I'm just going to co-found this company with a bunch of friends, and we're just going to get at it and see where we're going to land and how far we're going to get.
Great.
And the latest outgrowth of this is Fitness Ally, which is the app that we launched in the App Store literally 3 months ago.
Cool.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, pull it up. I mean, if you want to, we're doing a video, so might as well, if you want to pull up a screenshot.
I don't, unfortunately. Sorry. That's all I was asking for. That's all I had in mind.
You just want to give me C3PO and some red bean pies, or you got more from me?
That's it. You can't expect any more from me today. I'm sorry.
Well, let's talk about. So you just launched it up on the App Store, and what kind of receptivity are you getting, and is it direct to consumer? I try to partner up with health clubs directly. What's the business strategy? Or maybe we toss it over to Taylor and have him give his background and join the conversation with us here, Taylor.
Sure. Well, yeah, thank you for having me. My background has been in the fitness space. I've been a personal trainer, but also have been in the IT space more on the business side. So solutioning, stuff like that. And it was actually really cool for me because I am super into the tech side and had been like, why is there not a better form identifier for people who can't afford to go to the gym? And I'd been toying with this idea for a long time, and then started doing some searching, some market research, and I'm like, there's one right in my backyard. So I reached out to 20BN, and the rest is history. So it's been great since I've joined. And then in terms of my role within the company, we really have two avenues for our sales. We have the app, which we can talk about a little bit more. The Fitness Ally app, which gives real-time feedback. And I know that's kind of a buzzword now, but it actually sees you and interacts with you and can see, okay, your knees are caving in, do this, do that. So it's really cool from that stance. But especially so that's our direct-to-consumer side. But then we also have our B2B side, and that's a huge market right now because given the circumstances, so many people are stuck at home. And even though gyms are opening, they're scared to go, and the whole industry is changing. So we're doing a lot of stuff with helping gyms, helping corporate wellness so people can stay active, whether they're at home, whether they're on work trips. So that's where a lot of our energy's been. And that can be either through licensing our app, or we've done a few cool deals where we like completely customize the avatar, and the back end AI is the same, and people can have their own branded experience with an avatar who actually interacts with you and creates programs and all that. So yeah, it's an exciting, very exciting release, and really exciting time as well.
So I checked out the Fitness Ally, and it's obviously watching what you're doing and critiquing you and counting the reps. So Roland, from a technical standpoint, are you using the camera? Are there any additional sensors? Is this like kind of like the 5G network that's proliferating now? Kind of this kind of sits nicely on top of that. To talk, give us a little technical review.
So the amazing thing about this is that it just uses a vanilla camera, and it doesn't even need to be a good one. It can be a crappy webcam like the one that I'm using here right now attached to my machine, or it can be your phone, whatever it is. And the other good thing about it is it does not need a cloud server or a fast internet connection to work, because everything can run on the device. And so when the avatar sees you and coaches you and gives you advice, it's all happening right there on the device. There is no need to, put on your nice workout gear or try to look good in front of the camera, because you might be afraid that it's going to be streamed over the internet and then everybody will be able to see it. Like it happens with a lot of smart speakers these days. Not that they see you, but they can hear you and can listen into conversations and stuff. So one of the design principles is privacy is just baked into it. And that has been possible only in the very recent years, because the chips that power this kind of technology and that make the system see you and interact with you and remember you and all of that stuff, they just haven't been around. And it's been around 2018 with the latest generation of iPhones and iPads that was launched at that time that the world has changed that way. Suddenly, we've been facing a world where there is literally hundreds of millions of devices out there that can just do this stuff and provide that value for you. So I would say chipsets, camera built into the device and so on, those are the tech requirements in order for this to work. And it's been quite a long time to get to a point where the world is ready for this. That's also incidentally been one of the big challenges for us right over the years. The ecosystem just hasn't been ready. Just like DSL connections back in the day that needed to be there when you wanted to deliver other kind of value via websites, etc.
So based on the downloads that you have so far, or some of the pilots that you've had, what's some of the feedback that you're getting? Have you had Taylor, on your side, have you had personal trainers say, hey, I'm actually having my clients use this and I'm getting the feedback, or you have people say, hey, I used to go to the gym 3 days a week and now I'm working out 6 days a week by using the Fitness Ally. from home. Just give us some of the commentary and feedback you've gotten so far.
Yeah. So honestly, there's, as Roland was just saying, there's been some apprehension about, should I use an avatar? Should I do this? And then I think when people, so far, everyone who's used it has been like, has exceeded expectations. So, I mean, I was doing Zoom calls, obviously, when everything was shut down, and it's great, but you can't call people out the same. So far, we do have our target market, but the people who have used the app and are continuing to use it, we've had quite a few success stories. I wasn't doing anything, I gained the COVID-19. I just want to get back into doing something. I don't like running, and people have really, really liked it. And it's interesting because there's, it's hard to convert people with strong opinions, but people who were really there was a gym in Toronto, and once they tried it, they're like, we want to keep talking, because they were kind of scared of the avatar at the beginning and that idea. And then it's just, once they see that it actually works the same way as a personal trainer, they really like it. And it's a good way right now to just sort of complement. We're not trying to replace personal trainers. We know that's still going to be a need, but why not get someone working out from home if they can? So yeah, it's been very positive so far.
So Roland, when you look at the mirror that was acquired recently by Lululemon, which more is kind of like a glorified television screen, effectively, with some reflective material. And then I don't know if you guys know, there's a group called Carbon Trainer that's out of Vancouver, that's kind of a mirror and has some sensors built into it. Do you kind of view yourselves as, if we could kind of take this technology and partner up with other groups that are going to the home, or do you feel like, the app kind of stands on its own and just want to private label it? Obviously, when you're running an entrepreneurial business, and I've done this several times, probably too many times I don't want to admit, like you can always pivot your business, and, you only have to convince either yourself or a couple of people to pivot, and you're kind of off to the races. So, Roland, maybe, how do you think about that? Or where do you see the biggest opportunity to focus on?
We are a software company that way. We provide this AI capability as software that now is running on iPhones and iPads. We have a version that's running on Android, and we have an early version that can run on some smart TVs. We literally built the likes of smart mirrors of what you just referred to in the past until around early 2019. And the reason was just the ecosystem problem that I mentioned before. There just wasn't hardware around. And so what we did was, it wasn't literally a mirror. We didn't have that reflective material. It was a smart screen. It was basically a kiosk with a camera built in and a compute, so-called GPU device built in, so that it could run on the device and do its job right there. And then the thing happened, and the ecosystem opened up, and we saw, wow, now we can deploy this onto phones. Beautiful. Let's just go all in on that. So we have been in this because we saw there is a shift in consumer behavior. I think this mirror acquisition and all the other stuff that's going around it's very logical right now. It's people are getting used to it. Right? Peloton was early, maybe the harbinger for that early on. It's a thing now. Maybe COVID is accelerating it, but it was a trend that was becoming evident already before. And so the way that we are positioning this from the business point of view is we're building an AI fitness coach that can run across a variety of devices. It is software. And it's a beautiful trainer that is unparalleled, that gets to know you, and that works very, very well. And its hardware requirements are so lean that it can run on a smart TV, on a smart mirror, on another kind of smart mirror, on a phone, on another type of phone, on iOS, on Android, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really the way that we operate this. It's always Fitness Ally, and it's always our coach that greets you and works with you. But the deployment device it's agnostic to that. It doesn't really care much, as long as there is a screen, camera, microphone, and speaker. That's all it needs.
So I think what COVID definitely did was, we did a business school class on our Halo Academy about Peloton as the last class. And we kind of said, is COVID kind of a blessing or a curse for Peloton? Obviously from a valuation standpoint, and inventory sales, it's been a blessing, but it also kind of awakened, every other health club chain to say, hey, I've actually got to invest and start thinking about my digital, as an omni-channel provider. And I think the sentiment is, look, I want to be able to provide, live classes. I want to have an archive library. And I think, probably to your benefit here over the next, 6 to 12 months, and, Taylor, your sales cycle will probably shrink down to what's more reasonable. I think you could have a lot of fitness operators that are going to say, hey, can I leapfrog and get to this next step? And, maybe I go to AI while, some of these other health clubs are, trying to fill up videos in their, in their web library. Can I take the next step? So actually, you might be in a great position now to say, hey, here's something that is the future. I'm actually delivering you the future. There's not much startup cost or setup that you need to do here. And it actually could be a selling tool, as well. So just kind of anecdotal where I see the market going. You don't really have to convince your potential customers here, your large chains, that, hey, this is where it's going, and, don't be late again.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because I mean the cliche kind of intro sales thing is you have to really believe in what you're selling and all that, and it's exciting for me both from the personal training fitness background, but it's exactly what you said and what Roland was touching on. Like, even I've had some of these companies, Mirror, Tonal, the standard gyms. It's like, I really feel like we can help them. I think this is, like you said, where it's going to be, and we're a bit ahead of the curve, which is a great place to be. And yes, it is a bit of a laggard industry, but that's changing. And it's exciting to have these conversations and get people to realize, like, this is actually a great value, a great service for your organizations. It's not just, I'm out there selling another XYZ fitness thing. It's like, no, this is the way of the future. And this is going to, blow in whatever way it is. This is going to really help your organization. And the timing also worked out for us. And yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
Is there a client that you could either tell us about now, or maybe, tell us about in the future, where you've got a successful private label, name brand that's doing this, or even just a local club or studio? Because I think, the industry from a software standpoint, at least what I've learned, is there's kind of a snowball effect where you get a couple of names and they say, okay, they've kind of validated your product or your service pretty much in any, vendor or service to the health club and fitness industry. It's much more of a word of mouth, and say, okay, my friend did that. He must have diligenced it. He tells me what he's making money from, how it's working. And then, it kind of becomes an exponential sales cycle from there. So, where are you on that front, Taylor? And, or when you're ready, we could do like a Wolf Blitz or CNN breaking news on something like that.
Yeah. So we do have a few good ones in the works, both completed and not. I don't fully know the terms right now, and I looked quickly before this. I know we're not supposed to specifically name names, so sure. I will turn that over to Roland, but I would love to do a follow-up too. If Roland knows more of the details of those, he can definitely share some names.
We're live with several very, very large tech companies that are using this as an employee benefit right now. We're also live with GymPass, that platform.
Okay, we like those guys. Yeah, we like those guys a lot.
I'm sure you do, because they're great, and they have a benefits program that you probably know of.
Yep.
That is a beautiful program, and we're very proud to be onboarded to that program. In the past, we did a lot of licensing engagements in the early stages of the company when there wasn't this hardware around, and we just couldn't deliver this directly on a device and directly to a consumer, so that B2B really becomes B2B2C, which it now is. It was some classic B2B with a variety of very large companies, also a very large US tech company that used this for gesture recognition, and a couple of automotives, including BMW and so on, that basically use the tech stack in order to enable human-computer interaction, where you can look at each other and have your companion around that can see that you're waving and whatnot. Just a couple of proof points. We have some very exciting things to come out, and I encourage you to stay tuned and follow up on our website.
Great. Okay, so in closing here, you guys have any quotes that you live by, or that Roland, your team and developers typically hear you say, or as you go through these development cycles, kind of rings true in your mind?
Persevere. The best way to learn from mistakes is making them. And you got to iterate again, iterate, try again, pivot, try things, and all along the way, just persevere. I think that's a hard-learned lesson over the years, and I think I sort of learned it by now. Great,
that's good. And Taylor, how about you?
So I have, again, with the cliches, a very cliche one. My favorite is "This too shall pass." It means a lot to me, especially in this kind of environment, because things are changing so fast. So it's, for me, it's double-sided. This too shall pass. If you're going through rough times, it'll pass, but also like seize the moment, right? This is, times are changing, and it's not going to be like this forever. So you can either embrace the change, or you can kind of let it embrace you. So that's always been something that's resonated with me for a number of reasons, and I think it definitely applies to my passion in fitness and with startups and entrepreneurship just in general.
Great. Yeah, I tell people, Roland, over the last 5 months, I've become a certified entrepreneurial therapist. So I'm ready to get back into the real world and just say like, hey, this halftime on the soccer pitch, like, all right, I'm ready to get back on the field. Let's get rolling again. So look, I'm glad that we were able to connect here. Look forward to getting this video podcast out and audio to the industry. And then Taylor, let's talk about, trying to get some accounts set up and rebrand some avatars to our clients and make sure we're getting people the results that they deserve, because when you take a look at this COVID, not to go on a soapbox, but the most people that get severely ill or unfortunately die from this are people that are overweight, that have, hypertension issues and then just don't take care of themselves. So, if an avatar can help them get their immunity system, where it needs to be, then, we've saved lives in the process. So appreciate what you guys are doing. Glad we met. Keep persevering, and we will check in with you guys soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, bud.
As we continue to build our Halo Talks email notification database, want to offer you a free $10 instant gift card from our friends at Promotion Vault. Also to show you how easy it is to offer your members and prospects and clients the ability to get desired actions out of them and reward them in real time. Go to halotalks.com, put your email address into the pop-up box, see how it works, get a free $10 gift card from us, and keep listening and making everybody great.